3 years ago, I was totally, and I mean totally, against guns. It was okay for people to have guns, but it wasn't okay for Ann to have a gun. I didn't want anything to do with a gun. Didn't want to touch it. And my husband, and we've been married 48 years this year. Vietnam veteran, and now has Parkinson's disease, can no longer be the protector of me. And he asked me one day, he said, I know you believe in the Second Amendment, but what responsibilities have you taken for it? Well, that was a 2x4 right between the old eyeballs. And I hadn't done anything. I accepted that other people, who made the choice to carry a gun could do that, but I never thought about what I could do. And after that, I thought about it, and within the next month, I went to the fair in Puyallup, Washington, and saw Old School Gun School.
Schools taught with basic principles. You can't learn from a computer app. You have to train your muscles. You have to train your mind. You will never rise higher than your level of training in a certain situation. You won't learn how to drive on the ice in the winter if you haven't practiced it.
I thought the course was great. I mean, it's an eye-opener to the laws as a defensive gun owner, as to how we can approach, and the laws, just like the law that they're teaching, gives you that knowledge in what is going to happen if you do have to use your gun in self-defense. The Aftermath is the book that Jim taught, who's a trainer today, along with JB, and it expands on everything that I've been learning through JB and Jim and their books and the books that I've read. It tends to expand on that, and so it better prepares you. I guess Jim refers to it as knowledge is power. Well, in the scripture, it tells us that to know the truth will set you free. And so it's almost the same idea. To know the law is going to give you a sense of peace in what you need to do and do it right. Because I have a friend who believes that he doesn't need the classes and he doesn't even need the permit because it's his right. And it isn't. If he ever had to use that gun in a self-defense case, I told him, I said, you're going to be in jail. There's no question about it.
For me, basically, it's a way for me to learn about gun safety. I never touched a gun before when I started the class. I was clearly afraid of the gun. The first time I went to class, the question was asked, what is your plan? And I did not have a plan. So if someone comes to attack me or threaten me, I do have a plan today, and that's what I've learned from the classes. Is my plan is to stop the threat.
And I think one of the things, like Nancy said, old school gun school has taught some of the things that I was fearful of guns originally. I never owned a gun or anything else along that line. And then when we decided to own guns, we decided, well, if we're gonna do that, then we're gonna take training together, and we both would take it. And that's how basically she got roped in, okay? Because I wanted to learn more about it. And so now we actually, found that we need to take more classes to get better at what we're doing, understanding what we're doing, understanding the law, what goes behind decision making, okay? And we hope to never have to use a gun, but if we do have to do it, we know the proper way and why we did it and why we made the decisions we did.
Very much an eye-opener, knowing very limited law about guns. It definitely gives you a little bit more objective on how to take care of things. The problem isn't the shooting. Pretty much anybody can do a shooting. It's what to do afterwards, because you're going to jail.
Pretty much, it's very an eye-opener. Especially me, I didn't really know anything much about the law. There's responsibility to carry a gun to protect yourself. It's kind of very eye-opening.
In your mind, it was the right thing to do. It was to protect your life of your loved one, whatever the case was at the time. You really need to be prepared for the battle that you've got next, and that is how they determine whether or not what you did was the right thing to do. And the defense is, your lawyer's going to protect you, but the other lawyer's going to come after you. And so it all depends on you. In your mind, it was the right thing to do, but was it legally? And with what we learned today and yesterday, there's a lot of gray area that they tried to cover and tried to get away the muddy parts, and to give you a little bit better understanding of the process that's going to occur.
Before, I used to just go in and get out to like going to the store, groceries. Right now, before I even get out the door, I kind of scan what I'm around me. I scan around and see what's going on.
Knowing your surroundings has
Yeah.
been a big eye-opener for her. She, like she said, she just bolt out the door. Well, not so much no more.
Most people get involved with old school gun school to get permits for traveling to other states with their guns or in their motorhomes. In fact, that's where I first got involved, by trying to get permits for other states. As they take those classes, they realize there are other things that they could learn that they don't know about. Gun law in other states, gun law in this state, which is fascinating and which we know little about. That was my next big leap. Fall gun conference, gun law conference. Very big deal. I learned a lot, and I'm going again this year. The law is a very complicated thing. There are many myths floating around about gun law and home defense. Unfortunately, too many of my friends believe all of them. You just don't shoot a guy for walking in your house in the middle of the night stealing your television. You really have to be under threat. The laws are written to protect even the burglars from undue violence. But if they do threaten your health, your life, extreme body damage, you may defend yourself. But it's not quite the way you read about on the internet or hear from your friends. The classes are more in depth than you would imagine. They can last all day. You're going to learn more than you knew about. I would recommend them heartily for either helping you get permits in other states, learning about gun law, which you probably have never heard and should know if you're going to handle guns or carry guns,